Hey everybody, this is my indoor koi pond, and today we are going to make one little minor adjustment to it. In fact, I'm going to make a tiny little addition to it, and I think it's going to make the pond itself a little bit healthier. So as I sit in here in the evening and I watch the goldfish swimming around and I watch all their activity, one of the things I've noticed that they spend a lot of their time doing is grazing along the woodwork and grazing along the sunken leaves. You can see here and there's a few leaves I collected up and threw in there, and they are not nearly enough, I don't think. I want to put some more leaves in there, and I also want to make sure I've got plenty of biologicals in there. I've got really large stones that have huge gaps and crevices between them. So all of the uneaten fish food and fish poop and all that kind of stuff is going to fall down onto the bottom, and it's going to get lost in those rocks immediately, and is going to need to be broken down. So in order to do that, I need to have good, healthy biological functions going on in the tank. Effectively, I need that stuff to compost down as quickly as possible. So a good way of spiking the biologicals in the tank is to simply bring some in from an existing pond. So we're going to go out in the backyard, we're going to have a look at the pond, and we're going to collect up some gold right off the bottom of that pond, and we're going to bring it in here and put it in this one. So sit tight, and I will see you outside in just a moment. Alright, now you'll notice that most everything around the pond is gone. The pieces of woodwork that were out here are gone. The plants that were out here are gone. I even dug some of the plants up. And most of that stuff is already inside in the other pond. So if you're wondering why I have a minnow trap in my pond, it is because I thought I had missed a fish. I came out here a couple days after I got all of the fish out of it, and I saw something swimming around in the bottom that looked very much like a dark goldfish or one of those black koi. And so I put the minnow trap in there. I realize it's probably so cold already that the fish aren't really even feeding anymore, if there were any fish in there. I checked the temperature this morning. The pond is 53 degrees. So if there were even fish in there, they probably would not be feeding. So the minnow trap probably wouldn't have been that good of an idea. At any rate, I wound up catching that frog in the minnow trap the next day, and that's when I started thinking about it. I think what I saw swimming around in the pond was that frog and not a fish. And so I've come out here several times with a stick, and I very, very gently prodded around all the little nooks and crannies without disturbing the stuff on the bottom and getting everything all stirred up and getting the water all murky. And I have yet to poke up anything that stirs up a fish or scares a fish out, etc. So I'm going to go back to my original idea that I've got all the fish out of there. I think I just saw a frog swimming in there that one day. If I did miss a fish somehow and there is a fish still in there, then it's just going to overwinter in there, and I'm guessing it'll probably be fine. So that's an update on what's going on in the pond. Now we need to get some stuff out of the pond. So let me put you on a tripod, and then I'll get in there and start scooping some of that gold off the bottom. Alright everybody, I'm not mic'd up, so hopefully you can hear me over there. I had to put the camera pretty far away in order to get my whole entire self in the shot. So all we're going to do is collect some of the stuff out of the bottom. I'm not going to keep every last little bit of it. Some of this stuff in here is not stuff that we're going to want, but most of it is. Most of it's just going to be leaf litter. Little cruddy bits like this, like little chunks of acorn and stuff like that. We're going to avoid that. But all these little broken down leaves, all that's going to go in there. Stuff like this I will try to pull out. It's got that hair algae growing in there, so we'll pull the hair algae off, but that was just another leaf. And again, this is just all of the dried autumn leaves that have fallen in the pond over, not necessarily autumn leaves, but leaves that have fallen in the pond over the course of the summer and are partially deteriorated and broken down. So alright, I'm getting down into some little gritty bits here in the bottom. So we'll go ahead and dump that out, and we'll try to get one more scoop out of there. I can even pull some of these leaves off the surface that are still floating, and they will very quickly break down. Alright, I don't know if you could hear what I was saying or not, but I was saying we can take some of these leaves that were still floating. We'll go ahead and take these and put these inside as well. And so that is our take. So let's get inside and put that right on into the pond. Even got a little extra bonus piece of stone crop. Alright everybody, we are back inside. And that is what we're going to put in here. So not a lot of ceremony going to be involved in this. Just sort of dump it in. Maybe swirl it around a little bit. Get some of those sunken leaves to spread out a little bit. I'm not worried about the floating leaves. They'll find their own space. And so there we go. So that not only to me looks more aesthetically pleasing, it looks to me a lot more natural when you can see actual leaves on the bottom. You can see some leaves floating on the surface. There's even a little twig that got mixed in there with everything else. So I like the way that looks, so that does serve an aesthetic purpose. But more importantly, I'm putting microfauna in the tank. I'm putting all kind of little biologicals in there. I'm putting probably trace amounts of algae. There might be little micro crustaceans and little living organisms in there. Look, you can already see some of the goldfish down at the bottom rooting through the new leaves. So that is going to make a fine addition. There goes my cherry barb swimming around down there. I don't know if you got to notice that or not. So there you go. I just wanted to show everybody that that is how I do stuff like this. I get a lot of questions about the woodwork that I put in there. Oh, it looks like I brought in a unwanted little visitor. Got a stink bug in the house with me now. So we're going to go ahead and get him outside. But there you go. I get a lot of questions about how I prepare my woodwork, how I prepare my rocks, etc. And a lot of people seem hesitant to just bring things in from the outside and stick them in your aquarium. But as you just saw, I have no problem at all scooping something right out of the bottom of a pond and bringing it in and putting it in my aquarium. In fact, that's going to be a benefit to my aquarium. That's going to be gold in there. So, alright everybody, there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. Make sure you're subscribed, ring that bell, do all that good YouTube stuff. And don't forget, I do a live stream every Friday and Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want some behind the scenes stuff, you want to chat with me, hang out on a Friday or Sunday night, check out my live streams. Again, make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff. You won't miss anything. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. I'll see you real soon in the next one.